Hello, klumka jotono ani Tripuri Nation channel je nai tongnai taku bukurono jotono ani kapang ni hamjakma teisi baya pare ini angkaisa program haini hai jeikine. A program ke chini Rajkumari Pragya bo kisa kok sanai bo ongka INTACH ni Tripura chapter ni Convener haini bagi bo chini kasam government house no repair khaina bagai central ni kaisa project makha Central government sanction khaibai ke bo anok no repair khaini bagai bo barjama kha ge bo khlaina bagai ready tong hain bagai boni kok khana bai jadi bo tam sagai tong kisa busiri khana bai jadi.
Yes, as you know, Kavita, you're one of our life members. For a very long time in Tripura, we've been doing work, and there was, of course, some opposition, as you know, from many governments. And because we were very open about our history of Tripura and our culture, which is a very bad thing because what we're trying to do is preserve our culture and our history. But this time, maybe we are going to be a little lucky. We from INTACH had put a proposal for converting the Raj Bhavan, the governor's house, because now the governor is no longer there, to preserve it and to make it into a museum named after... Is shifted already, and the Raj Bhavan, which is actually called the Pushpavanta Palace. It was made by Maharaja Birendra Kishore Manikya, my grandfather's father. Okay, so Maharaja Bir Bikram's father, Birendra Kishore Manikya, was a great artist and a musician. Besides, he's one of the first people to bring in modernization into the state. He introduced tea, orange, natural gas exploration, and he was an artist. So he did a lot of things, but nobody really, bothered to record anything about his contributions. So we thought, why not, convert this palace, Pushpavanta, into a museum and dedicate it into a museum where there will be exhibits of art and our culture. From Tripura, our artists, whoever have been there specifically, from royal family also galleries, because they are the ones who started this whole process. And besides them, there are other artists also, and also from not only Northeast, also from Southeast Asia and neighboring areas. We would like to promote this museum and let it, exhibit all these different parts of our culture. And so the proposal has been sent through, and the government seems to have reacted to it.
What government?
The present state government as well as the centre. So now the MOU will be signed, and once the MOU is signed, then over a period of maybe, I think 2-3 years at least it will take, they will start initiating the process of retrofitting and repairing the building first. Because a lot of construction was done which is not
damaged.
Yes, and it's damaged, and a lot of bad construction was done inside the palace by the previous governments also. They've destroyed it. So after all that is done, then the galleries will be made. So then hopefully we from INTACH Tripura will be in charge, of course. There will be a steering committee. So those are the plans. So if that comes up, that will be yet another good thing for us, good news for our state.
So it will take time now?
It will take time. Right now we are talking to the government about the MOU. But on principle they have agreed to give it to INTACH. So that's how it is.
So nice to hear. Thank you very much for coming.
Thank you. So we are here now on Tripura Castle, the main house, which was purchased in the early 20s by Maharaja Bir Bikram, when he was only about 16 years old. And in Shillong, those days, Shillong was the headquarters of East India. And Shillong was the capital, so everybody came here for military education, for studies. So when he came here, being so young, even at the age of 16, he planned to have a quarters here. And so Shillong Tripura Castle was where he did his education as well, and even the military used to be housed here. So they would come and go, the officers. And so this is like a big place. We are right on top of a hill. The height is almost 6,000 feet. We see Shillong in the other side. Area is about 13 acres.
13 acres.
And we still own a lot of private forest, and so we have preserved the environment and the house. Currently repairs are going on, so naturally being such an old house, almost about 100 years old. So we have to keep on looking after the place. So we are lucky to have this as a heritage property. One part is a hotel, the other one is where we still stay. So this is the pride of Tripura also.
Yeah, thank you.
So in the World War, no? People could go from down here and hide.
This is tunnel, no? Tunnel.
This, you'll have to use the light only. You will not be able to go much, but it's not much. It's about 10-15 steps.
Okay.
And right under the road. Small pool here.
Pool.
Water is going to that pool. From that pool, it will go down to a river. And that river it's in Shillong town only. So we are not wasting the water. Basically, this is spring water. And whatever extra water is there, this is overflowing.
What purpose is using this pillar and all?
This is for basically all these are orchids. You see what is growing on top. These are all flowers and roses, orchids growing. But it's not the season, so you can't make out. But you see the water is so clean.
So nice.
And then of course, this whole bamboo forest is there. Also my father brought the bamboos from Tripura and planted them here. All this
Like barak and
other 2-3 variety work, yes. The one you use for fishing also, no? All those are here. Let me fishing.
So this water is coming right from top.
From that forest, there's a forest on the top, the Shillong Peak area, the highest point. The water is from there, from a waterfall. It was also made by my grandfather.
So much clever, no?
Imagine those days. And in fact, we share this water with the locality. A lot of books on history.
Whose time?
These are all about, some books are about 400-500 years old also.
About
17th century, 18th century.
Is there about the history of Tripura?
There is a separate section only on Tripura and Eastern India, all these mostly. These are all Northeastern mostly.
All are in English.
In English. There are few books which are in Persian. Because Persian also was one of the languages, you know, which was very famous in India those days. With very old photographs which even the libraries don't have. And these are books like classical literature, International Library of Famous Literature. Very interesting. And most of them are from the time of Maharaja Bir Chandra Manikya. Bir Chandra Manikya was the person who was very interested in education. As you know, he was a scientist, astronomer, and a great reformer. Bir Chandra Library also he started.
Yeah, started.
So
but
most
after
of the
his name is Bir Chandra Library.
Bir Chandra Library. So from his period, lots of books were added, and all the Maharajas kept adding. Even my father added in that, for that matter. And so we developed this interest right from a very early age. Those days there was no when the capital of India was shifted from Calcutta to Delhi in 1911. And the Emperor of England had come to India, and all those kings were invited for the coronation. So during the Delhi Darbar, George, Regent of India, as is written here, GRI, 1911, Delhi. This is still the original chair
GRI,
with the cloth. GRI.
Means what?
George, Regent of India. And Maharaja Birendra Kishore Manikya was there. So he was also presented with this chair. And it's still in very good
presented
condition.
by whom?
By the, at that time India was part of the British Empire. So it was given by the crown, basically, during the time of the Great Darbar at Delhi.
This fellow is who?
No, these are all carvings, statues from mostly Indonesia and Southeast Asia. And these are of course some of the pictures, the miniatures of the Manikya dynasty.
Still working.
Still works.
So nice.
Still works.
Still work.
I learned a little bit when I was a child.
From Calcutta.
This is from Germany. It came to India, thing, but it's a German thing. It's called a baby grand. C.B. Beckstein. And it opens up like this. To put the music, you know, the pages over here. So this was all
previous they are so fond of piano, no? Like
were
all movie also they are playing piano.
All the Maharajas, you are musicians. Maharaja Birendra Kishore was a famous musician. He could play all the instruments.
Is it?
Every instrument,
So
right
folk-
from traditional
folk-
music, folk music, flute was a speciality, to all other instruments, including classical, Indian classical. And Maharaja Bir Bikram also was good at playing everything, but I especially heard that piano he was very fond of.
There is
We
no
have-
picture that he's
I
playing.
have a photograph of him playing the piano.
Playing piano.
It's a very old one. But he also recorded in a gramophone. Painted in Dhirendra Kishore Devarma, also from the royal family. He did his painting in London as well. In London, in
did
India
he?
House, his paintings are still there. And he introduced the style, and later on, Shantiniketan copied
This
Tripura's style. And this is actually Manipuri. You can see those people, their drummers, it's done,
dancing, no?
the dance and all that.
All
You see all this?
dance.
So this is all done in the northeastern style, in fact, and it became a part of.
Manipuri, no?
Yes, because
That's
of the
right.
Manipuri thing, the influence was there.
okay.
But the eastern influence, northeastern influence actually influenced Bengal in one way.
Yes,
But people always take it in the other way. No?
right.
Now, like I said, no repair, so it's dirty. Once everything is done, it will be nice. So all this I finished painting few days ago only.
So beautiful.
And a lot of famous paintings are here also. My father also, not many people know, he was also an artist. Old ivory tusks, one of the very large ones, about 7 feet tall. If you measure it properly, the whole thing, the 6.5 to 7 feet, both are different. And there's the tiger, you can see another one.
Oh,
Real one.
Real one.
Previously, I have seen our product very so
Many people have spoiled it.
This good.
This is a Tibetan type one, I think, and made of glass.
Door also very nice paint.
And this is a very.
This door also very nice, no?
This whole room is carved. It took about 1 year to make, and the wood came from Tripura,
wow.
and it's all handmade, and there are lights inside it.
Like
Light is inside. It's all concealed under the glass, and as you can see,
you can open the light on.
I think they've closed it for the repairs. Because I just had the room painted recently. And these are the 3 very famous paintings also. They are the female versions of Shiv, Brahma and Vishnu. So many people are not for the women thing. No, we talk about women's empowerment today, but this is women's empowerment. Very old paintings, the female version. And this is meant to be Vishnu, the female version. And that is Brahma in the middle and Shiva's, version in the end.
This
It took 1 year. People from Tripura came into the carving. You imagine? From Tripura. And now nobody can do anything. When we were young, we used to eat here with my father and over here. My mother used to sit here. I used to sit in the third one. I still remember. My father, mother, and my sisters were there, everybody. But I remember I used to sit here. And we used to come from school. Lunch break, we used to have 11:30 from Loreto Convent, 11:30 to 12:30. So we used to come here and we used to have a full-fledged proper lunch with the waiters coming and serving us food in silver and everything. It seems like such a long time ago now. But this was a very usable place, and then after lunch we used to go back to school. And I used to always miss class 10 minutes because but we were so disciplined. My father was, like a proper Maharaja, everything was done properly. And 3-course meal, And he was, of course, fond of continental food. So first we would have continental European food. After that we would have Indian food. And then Tripura food.
I had lunch there, no? I used to tell, no? This European also there, Indian also Tripura also there.
So we used to have all types of food and we used to end it with pudding or fruits and things like that. Then we used to go to school. So I've had the good fortune of having lived that life. That's why I feel like, it's our duty, not only myself, but finally you see it belongs to all of us. It's our joint culture and history. So if we don't look after it, who will look after it?
Right,
We
right.
cannot have people coming from outside.
Right.
So if we don't take pride in what is ours, nobody else will give us any credit or dues. So whenever I'm in Tripura, I'm doing repairs there, like Babita has pointed out. I'm here in Shillong, I'm doing repairs, or in Calcutta. But if we don't do it, nobody else will do it.
So nice.
And there's this Buddha statue also. That is also, you can see from here, Buddha statue is very famous. In a lot of books it's appeared. And then those two paintings in the side, those are of the terrace garden in our house in Calcutta, Tripura house. This again is most probably Chinese and dates back to maybe 400-500. And you'll notice we have a lot of Chinese things here. Southeast Asian. Even this rooster is a Chinese one, made of copper.
Oh. That one is oat, no?
This is wood and this is saying copper. It's also Chinese and you can remove parts.
Oh, so nice.
There. And these boxes that you see,
This one also.
this is called a camphor box. It's very old, very heavy. It's made of camphor wood. It's totally carved.
Okay.
Camphor is anti-insect. So in the old days, people kept things in China for preserving, clothes or even
We call
papers.
sanduk, no?
It's a samduk, but it's a Chinese one.
Chinese.
Really. And Kabita, this gate in the present Ujjainta Palace in Agartala, you remember I told you, it's the same as this one. This is the same gate. This is
Same
the
gate as
tiger's head,
Oh.
but they have spoiled it in Ujjainta Palace. Over there, they have cut off the face and shown them to renovate it. But this is the same gate, one of the parts. It's still so good over here.
Because you are taking care
And
of
yeah, I just recently also have had it polished and it's all very strong Burma teak. It will not get spoilt. And outside, of course, I've had it painted. These doors also. I just had it painted, no? So now you can see.
Whenever she goes there, repairing.
In my own last life, I must have been an architect. But I enjoy it actually. Even here, I'm making rooms, small rooms.
You have talent, no? That's why you enter. The one who has got talent, they want to
Passion also.
So, see the face and also clear. So now when you go to Agartala, no, to the main palace, Ujjainta Palace, the museum, you see inside how they've destroyed the face and everything. And this is the original. I explained to them also. And that's why now, Pushpavanta Palace, the Raj Bhavan, if it comes up okay, I will supervise.
Okay. But if it will take time, so
It will take time, but at least it will be preserved. It was going to be, like I said, there were so many people wanting to make it into different things. But if it becomes a museum, only for Tripura and the Northeast, it will be a very good thing. We'll preserve whatever is there. Otherwise, we lose everything. Paintings, photographs, how long will they last?
repair the building.
First, the building has to be repaired. Photographs also will be there because Maharaja Bir Chandra Manikya was a pioneer in photography. He's the first one to bring in photography into Eastern India. A lot of people don't know. And he was so broad-minded, he encouraged all his Maharanis to take up photography. And he educated all of them.
How to click.
How to take photographs, how to process photographs in those days when you didn't have anything.
Even
his children.
Process, she also
He did it all himself. He was known for that. He developed his own techniques because Tripura's climate was different. Those days photography, when it started, it was done in England. You had to send your photographs there to be developed.
My God.
So what he did was, the climate was different. Tripura is very humid. So he developed, tested many chemicals and he did his own process. So he and Bharat Thakur, Samarendra Debarman, he, the wives, the children, everybody participated and they did it themselves. And he started the club. It was called the Tripura Club in the palace. And everybody was encouraged. So he was so broad-minded. And he's the first one to have done his selfie with his Maharani. I had an exhibition in Delhi also. And I showed that and people were so interested. And then of course, in my interview, I explained about how, using a shutter. Those days, he did that, So Tripura has so much of talent, but it's all been hidden. So this is the time for us to open it up and to show it to the world, that we were ahead of our times.
We need to give awareness also that how you are thinking and feeling, no? We make our people to make.
Yes, instead of doing things which are of no use, and nowadays, unfortunately, a lot of our, I'd say even our own people, they feel depressed nowadays. Okay, maybe it's the corona thing or job employment is not there. But there are other ways to be constructive in life.
Many things to do.
This is a good time to explore your hobbies and your talents. So if the Maharajas and even the people those days could do it without having all the technology we have today, if they could pursue what they liked, why can we not do it today? We have everything today. Despite that, we've become lazy. So we have to waken up.
Even we don't need to go, just call the phone is okay, no?
That's it. It's so easy now.
By our own phone.
Like I said, photographs had to be developed, they had to be sent by ship to England. So then the Maharaja developed his own technique in Tripura. And this is way back in the 1860s. And today, 2020, we are too lazy to do anything on our own. So sometimes we need to be hardworking, open up our minds, open up our thoughts. It'll do our body and our mind some good as well. So this is also like a message to everybody.
Yes.
That be yourself, try to discover yourself, make use of whatever opportunities come your way. Good times, bad times, they will always be there. But if we don't try to use those times, they'll never come back again.
Right.
And one day we'll have regrets. So let's not have regrets. Let's encourage people in our state also. Unfortunately, we don't have any artists anymore. We had so many musicians, artists, photographers at one period. And now today, nobody wants to go in that line. I'm trying to encourage one young boy, Rohit Debarma, you've met him. He's a small boy, a teenager. I gave him a lot of paintings to do. President Bobagra also gave him some statues to be made. He's a young boy. He's talented. Nobody encourages him. But we from the royal family, we are trying to do that. And I also told him, he said, oh, everybody makes fun of me. So, but why will they make fun of you?
He's very nice.
He's very good. And if he wants to go for higher education, we are willing to send him for that as well. So, let us start again. There's always a new year ahead. Yes, worst times may come, but we have to make use of that opportunity. We can't just stop living.
Right.
Yes. So let's have a golden period in Tripura again.
이게 저도 Takurok na baikna chini Rajkumari Pragya Debarma samani chini Governor House no some museum kainan bagai bo mangka INTACH ni teke ge tabok sung joto chini Takurok no subana ni bagai subana mane joto no each other subalayen help kayani samtang lain bagai angkoyu 이게 je masasa chini dopani itihas rogno te laibuma rogno sung narak lainai te chini kamung sumung hukumum rogno sung nargi man a museum teke ye chini bagi belai ke cover kaham ani belai ke tongtok zakha ye chini Rajkumari no belai ke hambai thank you